Alright, now that we have pretty much all this done and got a nice preview of the normal map in OCC, it is now time to go in and look at like a texture of some nature, so to lay on top of all this. I need some coloring book image thing, you know, like my UV snapshot, to pull this off because I have so many miscellaneous islands everywhere. So I need something that has all the islands combined. I'll just hit A, export UV layout, and then drop that into this directory. And I'll just call this UVs. I have to match the resolution, so 4096. Okay, I'm going to copy this over to the rebar OCC. Oh no, actually OCC post rebar. There we go. I'll put it on top. Now I have all my UVs. Nice. Alright, now that I have this, I'm going to go look for a nice cement texture. Cement texture. And I'll do images, and I want larger than 8 megapixel. Okay, I like this. It's a low res, it's just a low noise. I'm not selling this article, this is just for teaching purposes, so I'm just going to take this texture and throw it over here. Good. Then I'll lower this down, and I'm matching the scale here. And you can match the scale via the bumps in the ambient occlusion. So you can see these bumps right here. Are they equal distance or thereabouts to this one? I want it even smaller than that. Okay, now I'll take this and I'll trim it around the outside edge. Essentially making it not round but just kind of a rectangle. And you could go round. I mean, actually, just if I trim this all the way off like that, I have this little spot, and this little spot can be many spots. So I'm just going to kind of zoom out and tile this around some. Alt on the keyboard. I'm trying to avoid some kind of pattern, so every once in a while I'll tilt this. And I'm going to use the patch tool to kind of repair some of these areas. By the time I'm done, you'll never know that I tiled it over 1,000 times. Okay, just gonna Control E to take these and start dropping them onto one layer. So now I have this big splotch. Okay, I'm going to take the patch tool every once in a while and just kind of destroy some of these contrast details here that change. But I'm going to end up putting the texture back on top for a second, so I'm not really too concerned about it. So I'm going to go edit paste. That should bring it back in. And what I'm doing here is looking for a nice I like the hard light. That looks pretty good. Alright, now I'm just going to merge those down. Control E. And then I'm just going to trim away anything that I'm not using. So in this case, I think the better thing to do is put this down below, merge these two, turn them to multiply, and now I can see exactly what I would need to trim out. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Wacom tablet and my pen and start erasing this. Oops, don't want to erase that. I want to erase this only. Whoa. Good. Then over here, just going to delete that stuff from over here. Not too bad, not too bad. I like it. Say I wouldn't mind having these a little bit more punchier. So I'm going to go to this and just say image, adjustments, exposure. Okay, that feels a little bit more punchy. Look for some steel texture. This doesn't have to be too much. It could be a kind of low surface noise. Copy image. Paste. Okay, this thing is actually small enough I could get away with just shrinking it, and it's only one little patch. Okay, so that's not bad at all. I would say it doesn't match scale, however, so I'm gonna shrink it down just a little bit further. Drag it on top. tile it, swipe it with my eraser. Control E it, tile it, swipe it. Sometimes if you swipe it with a bigger eraser, you can get it. There we go. Looks good. Control E it. I'll take this, swipe it up here. So this might seem a little dark for this area, but we'll see. Again, I'm just going to swipe these. And put it over here in this region. This patch, I'm going to need to lower the opacity value on it, just so I can see what to trim away. So I got to trim away all this stuff. Just so it gets those tops of the screws. Okay, Control E. And then I need to put that underneath my OCC. So this is what I have so far. Alright, let's look at the color map here. So save as. I'm going to save target file. This is now going to be called my color map. (24-bit). And then over here in the materials, textures, I'm just going to replace this. Wow. Wow. That's pretty good. All right. I would say some of these materials right here, this fence rebar needs to be a little bit darker of a material too. And it needs some variation, but that's okay. We can do that here in a minute. Also, I need to combine some normal maps together, because now I have the surface detail, but no normal map to represent it. So in the next video, let me start unifying these concepts together. But other than that, I'm pretty happy.